Hey guys, me Dave. It's 5/26/2020. It's Tuesday, so I thought I'd do a little video tonight for the heck of it and stuff. And I wanna. There's all kinds of things to talk about, but there's not a whole lot going on today with me. I didn't get out of bed until 2:30 in the afternoon. They kept me up all night. I was laying there. I was like, I was like laying there, and I was having like manipulated dreams and stuff, but I wasn't like it didn't feel like I was sleeping all night long. So then I got up around 9, I got up around 10, I got up around 11, and then, I didn't get out of bed until 2:30 in the afternoon. I finally did get a little bit of sleep and stuff, but it was not very fun to say the least. So there's something I want to talk about. I want to talk about the virus a little bit, the pandemic. People are saying they want to dramatize things. I don't know how this virus got here. I don't know if it was planned. I don't know who planned it. I don't know any of that stuff, and I'm not gonna make assumptions on what's going on with that. Okay. What I want to talk about is the facts. The facts is that people are getting sick and dying from this. And the conspiracy theorists are acting like it's no big deal. We lost one life. If it's one life, it's too much. We're almost up to 100,000 deaths. And people act like that's not a big deal. 100,000 people dead. 100,000 people's families grieving for their loved ones. And people want to act like it's no big deal. 100,000 people. Oh, it's no big deal. It's just 1%. Who gives a shit about that 1%, right? Who gives a shit about that 1% that's already dead? They're in New York City. They're storing bodies in a tractor trailer, refrigerated trailer. Oh, who cares about that, right? That's no big deal. It's just 100,000 people. It's 1%. To those people can pretty much screw off. I think you got to be a heartless person to think that way. Personally, I know somebody that got sick and died that I used to work with 20 years ago. Kind of a older lady. She got sick and she passed away. And stuff. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. The thing is people act like it's a big conspiracy. Oh, they want to lock you in your house. This is all a big conspiracy to lock you in your house. Really? Do you really think like that? What would be the gain? What would be the gain? Who's gaining from this? Who's benefiting from this by being locked in their house? Who's benefiting? Who's benefiting from that? No one. This isn't a conspiracy to lock you in your house. It's not a conspiracy to lock you in your house. Oh, they're locking us in our house, and they're taking over the world, and blah 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 blah. They want to open up the economy. They want to be safe about it. People act like it's only 1%. Okay, here's the reality of it from a medical standpoint. Is that it may be only 1% right now. Okay, so we have almost 1 million people infected, and there's 100,000 deaths. Okay, what's the time period for those deaths? It's only been a few months. And we lost almost 100,000 people. We could lose another 100,000 people by August. If you think that's not a big deal, if you think that's not a big deal, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with your thinking. Well, it's only 1%. We only lost a couple 100,000 people. Who gives a shit? Really, 100, 100,000 people, almost 100. We're almost up to 100,000 people. People died. I've worked in the medical field. I've cleaned up dead bodies before so the families could come and see them. I've done a lot of stuff in the medical field. And if you see a grieving family grieving for the family member that they lost, and you don't have any feelings about that, there's something wrong with you. Definitely. We lost, one person is too much, okay? One person is too much that we lost. And we're up to 100,000 people. That's 100,000 families that are grieving for their loved ones. Put a face. Put a face to those people who died. We've lost nurses. We've lost students. We've lost mothers. If you don't have compassion and empathy for these families, I feel sorry for you because there's something wrong with you. We shouldn't, we shouldn't be, the thing is like they're okay. They're doing lockdowns, and people want to act like, whoa, we're locked down. Oh, we're not doing what. They act like they're anti-government, and blah blah blah. What they're doing is they're trying to stop the spread of this virus. They're trying to stop the spread of this virus. Maybe some people just don't give a shit and they're trying to get views. They monetize their page and they're trying to get views. Clickbait. Oh, let's do some clickbait so I can get views and get a couple $100 in my checking account from my video. If people don't have empathy and compassion for other people, I really question those people. You better pray you don't get this virus and get sick, because it is real, it's spreading, and people are dying, young and old, are dying from this virus. Well, it's only 100,000 people. Well, that's 100,000 families in the last few months. Short time period. This ain't going on for years. We've lost more people to this than Vietnam. So the number is huge. We lost 100,000 people. And there's families, 100,000 families that are grieving for their loved ones. If you don't think that's a big deal, and you think you're taking this personal, where you think the government is trying to keep you locked down. Oh, it's the NWO, it's the Illuminati, they're trying to take us over. Blah, blah, blah. If you really think that, you're a little delusional in the head. You're delusional, and you don't even know it. This is a serious virus and people are getting sick. And I want to talk about vaccines for a second. You got all these people saying vaccines are causing this and they're causing that and they're deadly and all this stuff. They don't know what they're talking about. They can't provide any facts on anything. Where's your facts to back that up? Where's the facts to back that up? Real facts, not some guy on YouTube that's saying, unqualified guy. Where's the real facts of this stuff? I got updated on my vaccines. I didn't get sick. I didn't get any disease. This was 4 years ago. I was outdated on some of my vaccines because I was going to take some nursing classes at the college. I got updated. I had to get updated on my vaccines. I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick. Nobody that I know have gotten sick off vaccines. There's just so much stuff out there. I think a lot of people don't think for themselves. They can't think for themselves. They follow the train. You got the engine, and then you got the cars in the back of the train, and a lot of people follow that train because they can't think for themselves. They can't think for themselves. They're not independent at all. You know, so I just want to mention that a little bit. I mean, it's like some people just lack compassion. They lack compassion. For if you see somebody die, if you know somebody that dies, you lack compassion. Their family is grieving for that person. It's a death. It's a human life dying. Oh, it's just 100,000 deaths. It's 1%. What's the big deal? Well, it is a huge deal. The whole world's on lockdown. This ain't a conspiracy to keep us all locked up. Trump wants to open up the economy. He wants people to go to church. He wants, coffee shops and all these other, restaurants and stuff. He wants them to open up. But we got to be careful about it. We have to be careful about it. I mean, I'm being safe. I'll wear gloves and a mask, gloves and a mask, go take my dog to the vet, because there's several people in there. There's nothing wrong with being safe and do social distancing. What's wrong with being safe? Oh, the government, oh my God, the government's telling you what to do, and really? I'm not taking a chance. I'm not getting sick. I've worked in the medical field for 20 years. These people don't know what they're talking about. Some of them. They're not qualified. They're not doctors. They're not nurses. They don't know what they're talking about. They think it's a big conspiracy to lock us in our house. They're drama kings. Drama kings, they gotta dramatize everything, and stuff. So anyway, I just thought I'd talk about that a little bit. As far as my targeting goes, I got targeted a little bit. I didn't get out of bed till 2:30. I was up all night. I was just laying there like a zombie, and they were doing manipulated dreams and stuff. But I was awake. It was like they were holding me there. Where I was almost asleep, where I could almost dream. They were doing that all night and stuff. So I mean, it hasn't been that bad of a day, but I did get hit last night and stuff. So anyway, I thought I would do a little video. I'm sorry talking so much about this virus and stuff. I just think people lack compassion for other people. And I think they may be a little selfish, and they're trying to get views, and they're trying to get money and all this stuff, from YouTube, and they'll do whatever it takes to get a couple bucks in their checking account, from a monetized video, and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this off. I hope you guys doing well out there, and I will talk to you later.